In 2013, I received a very providential call from one Dr. William Thompson, the same epidemiologist who brusquely dismissed my concerns about vaccines and autism many years earlier. In this call and a series of exchanges that ensued over the next 10 months, Dr. Thompson was very different and in a way sought forgiveness for his role in the CDC's cover-up of the relationship between vaccines and autism. Bill Thompson released to me thousands of pages of emails, reports, and results of the studies he conducted in the Immunization Safety Office of the CDC. He also revealed the actual background documents showing that the CDC was indeed finding a statistically significant relationship between thimerosal and neurodevelopmental disorders, including autism, as well as the MMR vaccine and neurodevelopmental disorders. He also showed me to the proverbial front door of the CDC where I could directly request public use data sets in order to repeat the analyses of the CDC, which I did straight away for the MMR vaccine. This was the same data used for the DeStefano et al. 2004 pediatric study on the timing of the MMR vaccine and autism prevalence in a cohort of children in metropolitan Atlanta. When I received the data from CDC officials in 2014, within 15 minutes of starting the analysis, I saw that African American males receiving the MMR vaccine on time were over 3.5 times more likely to receive an autism diagnosis compared to those boys who received their first MMR vaccine after their third birthday. I immediately called Bill, and his reaction was, "Oh, you found it." I asked him to explain further what did I find, and he described the whole saga where he found the same results on November 7th, 2001, and the co-authors of the study agonized over what to do with such a compelling finding. To Colleen Boyle, one of the senior authors of the paper, it was easy. Simply roll a bunch of blue recycle bins into the conference room and shred all evidence of the finding. It never happened. They never found it. They published something false in 2004 and moved on. But Bill secretly saved the information and over 10 years later shared it with me in a way that I found the result through my own analysis. It wasn't his sharing the results. It was me getting the data directly through the CDC front door, analyzing the results, and sharing my own findings. That simple. That analysis was published in July 2014 in the journal Translational Neurodegeneration. However, the same day that Bill issued a statement through his attorney revealing the cover-up and supporting my paper, the journal decided to remove my paper from its website, saying initially that it was a threat to public health. Then changing the message to a trumped-up false charge that I had an undisclosed conflict of interest that compromised the original peer review process. Still looking for that conflict of interest. By October 6, 2014, the journal fully retracted the paper after a sham peer review process. I'll be talking more about the retraction in the last panel today, but the retraction changed the narrative of the CDC whistleblower story so the mainstream media could report on the flawed and fraudulent paper of Dr. Brian Hooker, rather than the original flawed and fraudulent paper of CDC scientists.